Come on in. Hey, Tamika. Thank you for your patience. We had a little hiccup, but thank you for your patience. As you're coming on, like, share, comment, tag, let somebody know that we are on tonight. We're talking about tonight making a deposit in your emotional bank account. Tag some of your friends, let them know we're on. And we will get it started from here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for watching. And so tonight we're talking about making a deposit into your emotional bank account. If you remember, on Sunday we talked about making withdrawals from your emotional bank account and how people can make withdrawals from your spirit. They can pray, P-R-E-Y, on your emotions, and they can make withdrawals from your emotions, leaving you drained, frustrated, agitated, kind of sluggish feeling. But tonight we're talking about making deposits into your emotional bank account. Now, Stephen Covey came up with the phrase term emotional bank account a couple of years ago. And basically it works just like a real bank account. Oh, somebody said they like my sweater. Thank you so much. My hoodie, yeah, it says Spiritual Savage. But what it simply is just like you make withdrawals or deposits into your regular bank account, you also have what's called an emotional bank account. And it is up to you to be able to navigate that, just like you have to manage your affairs and your accounts with your legitimate bank accounts. You have to do the same thing with your emotional bank accounts. And so this is coming from the series. We've been talking about it since first Sunday of this month. Take me off of repeat. And some of us are stuck on repeat simply because we have allowed people to make withdrawals and not enough deposits. And sometimes the deposits that were made weren't good. So tonight during our 30-minute session, and we're only staying on for a short amount of time, so please log on, tag somebody, like, share this so that they won't miss it. And so again, tonight we're talking about making deposits. Last Sunday we talked about making withdrawals and how the enemy will send people your way that mean you no good, that don't care about you. All they want to do is see how much you are worth so that they will know how much to withdraw. Wow. Somebody might need to put that down in your notes right now. There are people in your life who only come to access and asset your account to see how much you are worth so that they will know how much to withdraw. And so we have put an end to that. And tonight we're just talking about making a deposit into your emotional bank account. And so I have a chart I don't know if he can do it now, but so if you're talking about, let me go back over some of the things that are synonymous to people making withdrawals out of your emotional bank account. You have unkind comments, unkind people, and you have people that are breaking promises to you. When people break promises to you, then that is withdrawing from your emotional bank account, because you get all I have to go back to what was it when, oh Lord, I can't even think of it, Harlem Nights, when she said, I get my mouth all ready for some orange juice and I go in there and there's no orange juice. That's exactly how it happens when people make withdrawals from your emotional bank account. And again, there are people who will come into your life, and just like they want to know how much you have in your real bank account so they can know how much to beg you for and to ask you for, it is the same way with your spirit, with your emotions. Again, remember, our soul is our emotions, where we get our emotions from, okay? That is why you hear cliches such as food for the soul, because it gives you an emotion. It evokes an emotion. So our soul is where our emotions come from. And so when you have people who, instead of feeding your soul, they're making withdrawals from it, then it's going to cause you to go into the red, further into the red. So, again, we're just talking about it, and we're wrapping up the withdrawing so we can talk about the deposits. Also, people, if you have a lot of pride, if you have a lot of conceit, if you are arrogant, then you don't even know it, but you are making withdrawals from your own bank account. You're making withdrawals from your own emotional bank account, because there's no way that you can prosper being arrogant. So tonight we're talking about deposits being made into your emotional bank account. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and some people don't know what to do with their emotions. I want you to, if you have questions tonight, to please let me know. I am going to answer questions tonight. If you have some questions tonight, we want to talk about this thing together. If I have to bring you on camera, you can ask questions. But tonight we're going to talk about it. So again, when you're talking about making deposits into your emotional bank account, the first thing you've got to remember is that you have got to invest in you. That's number one. You have to invest in you. Somebody needs to put that down as number one. You need to invest in you. If you go to open up a savings or a checking account, you can't open it up with nothing. You have to put something in there first in order to start and keep that account open. So it works the same way when we're talking about our emotional bank account. You have to remember that you have to invest in you. We're sitting in here, and God has given many of us visions. He's given us plans, business ventures. But again, we are allowing people to make so many withdrawals from our emotional bank account, trying to help them, until we afterwards don't have enough energy. We don't have the wherewithal, and we lack the vigilance to be able to invest in ourselves. And so you have to be careful when you are even opening up your emotions to people, because you need to decide, and you need to have the spirit of discerning, and you need to ask God, okay, God, what is this person here for? Are they here to make a deposit in my spirit, or are they here just simply to withdraw? Remember, we talked about last time, people are people that just pour continuously, but they never have anybody to pour back into them. If that's you, I need you to hit that heart sign. If you're the type of person that you're always pouring into others, doing for others, being there for others, but when it is your time of need, you can't find anybody to pour back into you. It seems like nobody has the time, that nobody understands your challenges, or sometimes it just seems like they really just don't care. Okay? So when it comes to your emotional bank account, again, as a reminder, our emotions come from our soul, your soulish realm. So again, when we're opening up our emotions, we're also opening up our soul realm to people. You write that down. When we are opening up our emotions, we are also giving people and spirits access to our soul realm. Okay, this is why they said that it is sometimes hard to disconnect from people, because once you've made that connection in your soul, and that person has that emotion, and it's not always love. Sometimes people are bonded together by a mutual disdain for each other. Yes, it's called a toxic relationship. I've seen husbands and counsel Plenty of couples where they're husbands and wives and they fight all the time, but trust me, they're not going to leave each other. They're going to stay in that house and they're going to tear the house up, but they're going to stay together. Why? Because they're relying on that same emotion of toxicness. And that's what keeps them bonded. They don't know how to break free. So again, when we're talking about making an emotional deposit, a deposit into your emotional bank account, the first thing is you've got to invest in you. I need you to start putting up borders. Okay, and when I say borders, I mean I need you to start making people, boundaries, making people respect your boundaries. Even I, as a pastor, I ask my members, I say, listen, do not contact me after 9 o'clock unless it's an emergency. Why? Because being a prophetess, after I've gone to sleep, once you wake us up, it is very hard for us to go back to sleep. We are up. And so again, I have to put, even as a pastor, I have to put boundaries. And I'm so thankful that my members respect those boundaries. But whatever it is, if you are a caregiver, if you are a mother to your children, husbands and wives, you still got to make people respect your boundaries. You got to say, listen, I can't talk to you today. I can't counsel you today. I've been counseling you through this for 2 weeks. And every time I tell you not to do it, you go right back and do the same thing again. So again, once you have invested in you, then the next thing you have to do is learn how to listen to your spirit. You've got to learn your spirit. Some people call it spirit. Some people call it the energy. Some people call it vibes. Whatever you call it, you've got to listen. Some people call it intuition. We call it the gift of discerning. Whatever your spirit is telling you, you need to pay attention to that, because there is God, when he blew into man, he blew his DNA into all of us. Okay. Now, if you choose to listen to that part of you that God is in, it will never steer you wrong. So you've got to learn how to listen to yourself. You ever go somewhere, you'll say something like, something told me not to do that. That something is God. That something is the inner peace, the inner joy that he gives us, and the one who protects us. And so he's telling us, listen, this person is not here to make a deposit. This person is here to make a withdrawal. But where we go wrong is, instead of, let me give you an example. You will say, hey, you can pay me back with a check. And this person will write you a check, and they will know good and time well that they do not have the money to cover this check in the bank. They know that not only when they write the check will the check bounce, but they also are aware that it is also going to affect your account. And that is the same way if you are not listening to your spirit. If you're not listening to yourself when people are around you, when they're asking of you, when you're not making enough time for yourself, when you're not making time to spend with the Holy Spirit, then the Holy Spirit's going to say, hey, you need to move away from that. It's going to say, hey, that check is going to bounce. But instead, we want to trust everybody. And we want to believe the good in everybody. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I'm letting you know that there are people out here with bad intentions. And sometimes these people are sent on assignment. They are called assassinators of your assignment. Whatever your assignment is, they come in the form of distraction. If God is saying right about now, I need you to be focused on writing that book that I placed in your spirit. And if you're so extended to everybody else, you're so extended on making everybody else's dreams come true and building everybody else's dreams, when are you going to have time to do what God has put on the inside of you? And I want to remind you, this is not just me talking. If you have questions, I do want you to pose your questions, and we're going to get them answered tonight. And so again, number one, you got to invest in yourself. Number two, you've got to learn how to listen to your spirit, okay? And then number three, you've got to make people honor their expectations. What do I mean by that? Okay, so if I have an expectation of you, then I need you to honor that. If you told me you're going to be here at 9 o'clock, then I need you to be here at 8:59. If you told me that you were going to show up to support me at an event that I was sponsoring, then I need to be able to honor what I expect of you. If you've got people in your life that you cannot honor what you expect of them, now again, we got to stop expecting us from other people. Because many of you are givers and you're pourers and everything. But when you are low in spirit, you expect people to pour back into you like you poured into them. And unfortunately, it does not always happen like that. We run to the very same people that we pour into, and we expect to be poured back into. It's supposed to be about reciprocity, but you'll oftentimes find that those people are not going to pour back into you. Instead, they're going to take their reservoir and everything that you poured into them, and they're going to save it for themselves, or they're going to spend it on something else. But oftentimes, people will not pour back into you what you poured into them. They don't pour back into you. Like I see one of my students watching. He has a CD out now. Okay? Why is it that classmates are not purchasing the CD? It could be jealousy. It could be any of that. But you have got to teach people that if you're going to be in my life, I need to be able to honor what I expect from you. You got to lay down expectations, okay? Some of us, the reason we're so emotionally drained is because we have not told people what our expectations are. If you don't tell people how to treat you, then you leave it up to them. You can't get mad if they misuse you. You have got to teach people how to treat you. You've got to teach people how to honor you. You've got to show people how you want to be loved. Even in relationships, people don't automatically know how you want to be loved. That's the point of communication. We must communicate effectively what we want in our relationships. What type of relationship is this? I mean, are we brothers and sisters in Christ only? Do you like me a little bit? Do you like me a lot? Is this going anywhere? And if it is, let me let you know from the get-go who I am and what I expect. And when you do that, you give people the choice to either decide to roll with you, or they can roll on without you. Either way, it's going to benefit you, because you don't want, nor do you need anyone in your life that will not honor you, that will not meet your expectations. And when I say meet your expectations, I don't mean anything that is out of the roof or something that is just too high in regard. I mean just as simple as don't call me after a certain time of night. Or when you see me in the street, let's say hello, but I can't spend 10, 15, 30 hours talking to you because I need to do something else. We've got to teach people how to honor us. All right. And again, if you have any questions, tonight is the night to ask them, because our series is coming to a close. I think we have one more week on Take Me Off of Repeat, and then we're moving on to something else. So again, you have to be careful about people that always have, they make an apology or an excuse about everything, because those people are never going to come through for you. What you've got to start thinking about it right now. What is it that is valuable to me? This is the next step. What are your most valuable assets? When you find out your value, then you need to protect your value and your interest. Somebody say, I'm valuable and I come with interest. I'm accruing interest every day. But if you're not investing in yourself, there is nothing to draw from, and then there is nothing to accrue interest from. So again, you have got to know what assets you have. What is it about you that is so valuable? What is it about you that makes you unique? And you have got to own that, but you've also got to protect it. You can't let people, and this is the fifth one, you have to be careful of identity theft. watch out for identity theft. You have some people that will try to be around you to know your mannerisms. They will try to see how you have gotten the favor of God on your life. They will try to figure out what it is that makes you you, what it is that has made you so successful to this point. And then once they have done that, then the next thing you know, they're trying to be you. Have you ever, they say there's a cliche that says imitation is the best form of flattery. I'm not flattered by everybody that's trying to imitate me, because sometimes when they're trying to be like you, they're actually trying to be you. I need you to understand that. When they're telling you, I want to be like you, sometimes some of these people are saying, I want to be you. I want your identity, okay? Because what they're saying is, I don't know my own identity, but I can see the value in you. So let me, just like people who steal money out of bank accounts, they will assume your identity. Now watch this. In order for somebody to steal your identity, they have to know personal information about you. Now watch it. Here's where we're going. I hope y'all have shared this. They have to know personal information about you in order to assume your identity. You have to watch out for people that are trying to get close to you. Sometimes people are just getting close to you so they can learn your secrets. They can learn your passwords so that they can learn how to take you down and take you under. So you have to be careful with who you give your sensitive information to. What are you talking about? Sensitive information. No, I'm not talking about your credit card. I'm not talking about your passwords, but I am talking about your passwords. The passwords to you, the passwords to your emotion. It's very prudent that you guard. The Bible says you have to guard your heart. And I'm not saying that we walk up with walls. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, again, you got to discern people's intentions. Why are you up under me? Why are you hanging around me? Even some people have had to say, why did I get married? Did you marry me because you love me? Or did you marry me because you want what I had? And so again, this is not to make you paranoid, but it's to make you more wise about who you allow access to your emotions, which is also your soulish realm. This is why sometimes our spirits are at war with our flesh, because of the fact that we have allowed the wrong people and given the wrong people access to our emotions. I'm going to let you think on that. I'm going to let that marinate. We've given the wrong people access to our emotions. So no wonder your spirit and your flesh are in conflict with each other. Their soul ties. They talk about this. This is why fornication, the Bible speaks of not fornicating, because then you're tied up with too many people. You married to John, but you still thinking about Paul. How Paul did you? What you and Paul did? Because you are not loose from that emotional soul tie that you have with that person. This is why you shouldn't be giving yourself to everybody. Listen, there are people, they've got a portion of their spirit in this person, that person, and back over there and across these. You have got to preserve your body. You've got to preserve your spirits, and you got to preserve your mind, because when you are giving yourself to people, whether that is sexually, whether it is emotionally, whether it is financially, you stand a chance of forgetting your own value. And you will start to think that the only thing that's good about you is giving and doing for other people. And that's okay. But there's more to you than just giving everything of yourself to others. I've seen people get blessed and they gave it all away. And then they come back to God and say, God, I need a blessing. And God blesses them again and they give it all away. And then they come back and they say, well, God, I need a blessing. God say, I've given you blessings. But every time I bless you, you give it away. You've got to learn how to hold on to some of this stuff for yourself. Again, I told you about the parable of the 10 virgins. 5 were wise, 5 were cray-cray. They didn't bring enough oil. They didn't come with anticipation. Okay? But the 5 wise, they were like, listen, we don't know how long it's going to take for the bridegroom to come. So let us be prepared. So another thing that when you're talking about emotional bank accounts is you got to make sure to keep your check in balance. What do I mean by that? Keep your checks in balance. I'm not talking about the checks that you write. I'm talking about you have got to make sure that you're holding yourself accountable when you feel like somebody is draining you. Don't push yourself. And let me tell you something. God is going to relieve some of y'all from feeling guilty about not doing so much for people that you've always done for. Because some of us will get a guilt complex and we'll be like, well, they're struggling and I got it. Let me give it to them. Okay, you've blessed them before, but what could really be behind the scenes is, are they managing their money correctly? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Why is that person continuously stuck on repeat? But every time they get in that jam, you run to the rescue. Here you go with your Superman cape on, with your Superwoman cape on, and you're running to their rescue again. Listen, you have got to learn how to keep your checks in balance. If you do not balance your account, you will spend more than you have. Wow. 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 Did somebody catch that? If you do not learn how to balance your emotions, how to balance your soul realm, you're going to end up spending more of yourself, extending more of your time, extending more of your energy than you actually possess. And then you have nothing left for you, and most importantly, nothing left to give God. Sometimes we're guilty of giving people more than we give God. I said that. Sometimes we are guilty of giving people more than we give God. I'm not talking about just money. I'm talking about time. We will put quality time in listening to mess and gossip. Or we will create a group text just to gossip. But you won't create a group text to share the gospel. Again, you got to keep your checks in balance. Your soul has got to be balanced with your spirit. Because if not, then you're going to be over emotional. And then it's going to lead to you being irrational. If your soul, if your emotions are not in check because you're not checking on your balance. In other words, you're not, and I've seen a meme going around that says, check on your strong friends. They're not okay. Listen, you've got to learn that if nobody checks on you, if nobody calls you, if nobody does it, you've got to make time for yourself. Make time to take yourself to dinner. I ain't got nobody to take me to dinner. Take yourself. I don't have anybody to take me to the movies. Take yourself. You have a good job. Take yourself to the movies. Sit down, get your large popcorn and a large soda. Sit there, prop your feet up, and enjoy the movie with you and Jesus. Because one thing about it, Jesus will always be your date. I said what I said. Oh, I see y'all now. I see you now. And so when nobody else is going to love you, if nobody else is going to pour into you, you've got to keep your spirit and your soul in balance. And you got to say, listen, I'm going to check on myself. Don't call me today. Today is about me, myself, and I. Today, I'm going to get my hair and my nails done. I done paid for everybody else to look good. Now I'm fixing to do something for me. Because if you keep allowing people to make withdrawals from your emotional bank account, again, which is your soul realm. If they keep, what happens to a real bank account if you keep making withdrawals, but you never make a deposit? Exactly. You end up with a zero balance. And sometimes, guess this. Now watch this. There are times when we have overdrawn accounts. There are times when people know that you are on your last leg. They'll know that you need to be encouraged. They'll know, and God will speak to them sometimes and tell them to bless you, but they will disobey God. And they know that you're already on E. But guess what they'll do? Continue to make withdrawals. They're not caring about you being in the red. They don't care how big the minus sign, the numbers behind the minus sign are getting in your account. Again, we're talking about our emotional bank account. As long as they can keep withdrawing and the penalty is not on them and they don't have to pay it back, some people don't care if they're making withdrawals from you. So you have to put in place what the banks call a protection plan. A protection plan, we know, is simply something that lets you know when your account is about to be overdrawn, and then they stop and they say you can't spend anymore. You're going to have to do this for yourselves. You're going to have to say, listen, I have been there for my husband. I've been there for my kids today. It is now 10:30 and everybody's asleep. I'm going to take me a nice hot bath, or I'm going to listen to some music, or I'm going to go in my prayer closet. I'm going to do something for me because I've given all of my energy, most of it, to everybody else. But now I got to protect my energy and protect some and save some for myself. I know, yes, we're wives, we are mothers, we're caregivers, we work 9 to 5, we're entrepreneurs, we have all of these things going on, but you still have to put that protection plan in place for your emotions to guard them so that you will not be overdrawn. And what did I tell you overdrawn is? You become irrational in your thinking, in your feeling. This is when the enemy can come in with the strongholds. Because then your mind is not right. Because your emotions are not right. Then your brain starts thinking because of how you feel. If you feel a certain type of way, then it goes to your head, to your thoughts. And this is where the battle is. This is where the strongholds start. I feel like nobody loves me. I feel like nobody's been there for me. And then those thoughts, the devil will put those thoughts on repeat in your head. And he'll having you believing something that is not even true. Now, if you have questions tonight, I want you to be able to ask your questions tonight. I'm not sure if I've missed any, but if you have questions tonight, I want you to be able to ask your questions tonight, because I want you to listen. We need to talk about this thing. You know, everybody doesn't have all of the tools to be able to navigate through this pandemic. We've got people killing themselves. We've got people losing it all because, again, they've got their hands in too many pots and they feel like an octopus. They're trying to help everybody and nobody's helping them. So again, if you have questions tonight, I'm going to give you, please post your question down there in the comment section. And we're going to get your questions answered. Even if it's anything like, how do I protect my emotions? Any of those questions, I want you to put them tonight. My church members knew that they would have questions, so go ahead and start asking. But I want you to ask your questions tonight, because it is very hard for God to use you if you are not emotionally grounded. The Bible says we've got to be rooted and grounded. And if our emotions come from our soul, that means our emotions have to be rooted and they have to be grounded in the Word of God, so that when the winds blow, we won't be blown over. We might bend, but we won't break. Do you understand? So if you have questions tonight about how do I protect my emotional bank account? How do I keep people from making so many withdrawals until the point where there's nothing left for me? Some of you all are stuck on repeat because you're stuck in a cycle where you have to help everybody. You feel bad if you don't. And this is why I told you God is going to release you from the guilt of feeling like you have to save and be everything to everybody. You don't have to be everything to everybody, but you do have a responsibility to be the best you to you that you can be. I'll say that again. Stop feeling like you've got to be everything to everybody. I'm your bank. I'm your banker. I'm your cook. I'm your cleaner. I'm the person that washes your car. I'm your counselor. I'm the person that bails you out of jail. You've got to stop trying to be everything to everybody. And you owe it to yourself to be the best you to you. Listen, I hope this has helped somebody. This is our 30-minute therapy session tonight. I didn't see any questions, so I guess I answered them all. I don't see any questions, so I guess. But if you have questions, ask them. We have like another 2 minutes. But if you have questions, I want you to ask, because guess what? Somebody else may be dealing with the same things that you are dealing with. And if you ask that question that they're afraid to ask, then you help them get their answer as well. I want you for the rest of this week and for the rest of this month to develop habits and put things in place to make sure that you are being the best you to you. I'm not saying be built up in pride or arrogance and to make everything about you. I'm simply saying put boundaries around how much you extend yourself to people. Because the Bible declares that the devil desires to rob, steal, kill, and destroy. The Bible also says he wants to sift us as wheat. So if he can sift all of your energy, if he can sift all of your time, okay, then what is left over for you? And more importantly, what's left over to give God? We come to church tired. You wake up tired. You take a shower tired. You go to bed tired. You wake up tired. You go to work tired. And you don't have the energy. Why is this? Because there's something that is pulling at your spirit, that is sucking energy from your spirit. It is sucking life out of you. Remember, we talked about Sunday. You've got to be careful about spiritual leeches. People that come with spirits attached to them only to drain the life out of you. We know blood gives us life in our body. We don't have no blood in our body, there's no life. If a leech latches onto you, it's going for your life source. It's not trying to kill your arteries. It's not trying to get to your brain. It wants your blood. It wants your life source. It works the same thing. Remember, I told you that the kingdom of the enemy, it can mirror what we're seeing now. So just like you got natural leeches, you got spiritual leeches. And their only assignment is to drain the life out of you. Jesus said this, I came that you might have life, and that you might have life more abundantly. If you are not doing something to enjoy life, if you're not doing something that brings enjoyment, and when I say enjoyment, I'm talking about things that are in the ramifications of what the people of God do. I'm not saying go out there and binge drink and get all high. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about things such as taking a minute to walk in a park and just having a Salah moment, a pause, just to think of how good God is and to look at God's creation. If you are not taking time to do that, and if you are not enjoying your life, if you're living a life full of stress, and if you're spending time worrying more than you are worshiping, then you are doing Jesus a disservice, and you have essentially caused Christ to die in vain. If you're not enjoying your life, I need you to understand that. If you're not enjoying the life, God put us here to enjoy life. Go to the park. Go on trips. See the world that God has created. Stop confining yourself because your parents never did it. Be the chain breaker. Be the first person to go on a cruise. If you don't have any friends that want to go by yourself. Somebody might say, it's not fun going on a cruise by yourself. You'll meet people. You will meet people. Take yourself on a cruise. Buy yourself that car. And that you've got to learn how to love you. Do we have any questions before I end this broadcast? So again, we're talking about making deposits in our emotional bank account. And we talked about, number one, investing in ourselves, making sure that God's plan for your life and the dreams that you've asked God for, that we are not allowing people to pull us and distract us so much so with their tomfoolery that we don't have time to focus on what God has given us to do and what we've asked God to allow us to be able to do for ourselves. You cannot break generational poverty by giving to nobody but God. If you're overextending yourself and you're giving to people all the time, how are you going to break generational poverty? You've got to learn the importance of saving and investing in the right thing. So I hope that you have enjoyed it. Thank you. Angela said it's an awesome teaching. Thank you. Thank you. Shalirik, I hope I said that right. She said, you talking good, Dr. Sherrod. Listen, I'm doing my best. I'm not telling you something I haven't had to do myself. I had to learn that as many roles as I wear, I am a mother of many godchildren. I am a pastor. I am a caregiver to an elderly parent. I work, and I'm a lot of things to a lot of people, but I had to tell myself one day, you're going to have to remember to observe the Sabbath. What does that mean, Dr. C? After 6 days, God rested, right? He rested to look at all the work he put in. After you've worked on yourself and worked on what God has given you and worked on your dreams, take a pause, take a day, and don't let anybody tell you that if you are just at home and maybe you're on the couch and you decide to read a good book, and then take a nap, or watch a nice show on television, that you're being lazy. It's only lazy if that is always your pattern. But it is not unproductive if you are taking time for you. Do you not know when we rest, our body heals better when we rest? This is why you have so many people on narcotics and all of that. They're trying to rest because they don't have any peace. They're worrying about things. They have allowed the wrong people to contaminate their emotion, their soul. And so there comes a time when you have to purge, y'all. It comes a time when you have to purge. Purging could look like anything. It could look like, listen, I know that on Saturdays or whatever, I did this, that, and on Saturdays, I'm not doing anything, but I'm going to cook my favorite meal. I'm going to get me some rest, or I'm going to go do something that I enjoy. And I'm going to tell God, thank you for this beautiful life that he's given me. Because life in itself goes that fast. They used to say, here today, gone tomorrow. No, it's here today, gone today. You've got to take the time to enjoy your life. And when you feel like your emotions are bubbling over, pause. Get yourself somewhere quiet. Close your eyes. Take in some deep breaths and then exhale. Because remember, the Bible declares that the breath that we breathe, the air that we breathe comes from the nostrils of God. So when we breathe God in. And science supports that whatever we release is toxic. Some of y'all, and this is just a metaphor, but why are we still inhaling, but we're not exhaling? Some of you are still literally walking around here waiting to exhale. You're waiting on God to create a moment for you to exhale. You're waiting on people to create a moment for you to exhale. Listen, You create that moment to exhale. You decide when enough is enough. You decide when you need to rest. You decide when you need to pull back from some things and from some people. Because I'm going to tell you, people will kill you. And I'm not talking about like that. I mean, they will worry you to death. They will use you until there's nothing left. And then when there is nothing left, they're not thinking about you. So you have got to make sure that you are protecting your emotional bank account. Don't let people make deposits into your emotional bank account if you know, metaphorically, they don't have the amount that they wrote the check for. Because then that's going to leave you with a bounce check in your account. And it's going to leave you trying to pick up the pieces in your emotions, how to get this together while they've gone on with their lives. Invest in yourself. Find out what's valuable about you and protect it at all costs. Don't let people use it. If people know that you're a great singer, that's a great asset, but don't just let everybody pull you for everything and say, I need you to sing for this. Okay, but that's fine. But do you mind giving me a little, some gas money or something? Why am I always singing for free? The Bible says every man is worthy of his hire. And if I'm coming to do a service for you, I mean, the least you could do is buy me a box of Church's chicken. Something just to show that you appreciate the gift that's within me. Make people honor you. Teach people how to treat you. And even if they don't want to honor you, don't let people in your circle who are just getting close to you so they can find out, like we talked about, identity theft. They get your identity because, number one, you shared your information with too many sources. You put your passwords in too many search engines. And this is how identity theft comes about. Stop sharing everything about yourself with everybody. Because some of these people are on assignment not to be like you, but to be you. And in order to be you, that means you can't exist. Because there can't be two yous walking on this earth. Listen, this is Dr. C. I'm signing off. But I need you to love yourself. I need you to love your God. And I need you to love on each other. But most importantly, I need you to make sure that you are taking care of you. As we continue to navigate through this pandemic with gas prices rising, with stock markets crashing, with there not being enough food coming in, shortages everywhere, for which God spoke about this, I still need you to make sure that you're taking the time to thank God for the life that you have now. It may not be the life that you typically want, but it is still a life that somebody does not have. And I need you to be thankful for the life that Jesus died for you to have. Make good use of it. Don't spend and waste your time. Don't waste your life on people who mean you no good or who are never going to invest back in you. Surround yourself with people who know your value, and by being around you, their values increase, but they also increase your value because they're pouring into you, not just taking out of you. Listen, have y'all enjoyed this tonight? Did this help anybody? Anybody help? I see you down there in the comments. If it helped you tonight, send those hearts up. Let me see those hearts. If you got anything from it, some of y'all, listen, I can feel some of y'all now. Y'all already going to be calling people. Don't call me. I can feel you now. Listen, don't do this in the wrong spirit, okay? But do help people understand that I have boundaries. I'm not being nasty. I'm not being mean. But I've got to preserve me. I got to take care of me. Because if you're not going to do it, I've got to do it. And nobody's going to take better care of you than God himself. So make sure that you're making time for God. He's the one that keeps us emotionally grounded. All right. Well, I love you all. Make sure you share this message. Tag somebody's name in it. If you feel like they need to hear this message or that they can benefit from it. I want you to tag their name in it. I want you to share this on their page and say, hey, girl, listen to this. Or, hey, guy, listen to this. Let's help somebody. All right. I love you guys. And until Sunday, may God bless you and keep you is my prayer. Good night.